The rain had been falling for hours, turning the city streets into shimmering rivers that reflected the orange glow of streetlights. In a quiet corner of the industrial district, an old warehouse stood silent, its windows dark, its brick facade slick with water. Inside, the air smelled of dust, rust, and memories that had long since curdled into something poisonous. Evelyn Carter stood near one of the broken windows, her hands wrapped tightly around the handle of a small black umbrella. It wasn't for the rain, it was for the gun hidden inside the folds of her trench coat. She didn't shiver, even though the damp air crept under her collar. She had been waiting for this night for a year. 1 year since her husband, Daniel, had been killed. 1 year since the police had written it off as an accident. 1 year since she discovered the truth, that Daniel had been betrayed by the very people he trusted most. She'd known something was wrong the night she got the call. Daniel had been working late, finishing a contract for the logistics firm where he was a partner. The police told her his car had swerved off the road and into the river. They said there were no skid marks, no signs of another vehicle. They said it was tragic, but simple. Evelyn didn't believe them. The truth came in fragments, scattered through whispered conversations and half-deleted emails. It came from a coworker who'd been too drunk to keep his mouth shut. It came from an accountant who accidentally sent her the wrong file. Piece by piece, she saw the picture forming. Daniel had discovered fraud inside the company, millions siphoned into offshore accounts. He'd confronted the other partners, and they'd silenced him. The partners, Martin Hale, Victor Cross, and Sophia Legrand, hadn't just taken the company's money. They'd taken her life and shattered it. She could have gone to the police, but she'd learned quickly that Victor had friends in every department. She could have gone to the press, but without proof, it would just be rumor. So she chose another path: revenge. It started with Martin. A proud man, Martin kept two things close: his custom-built sports car and his ego. Evelyn learned his routine, learned where he parked, learned when he left his key in the ignition for quick errands. One evening, she swapped his brake fluid for water. The next morning, he took his usual winding drive through the hills. The papers called it a freak mechanical failure. Evelyn called it the first note in her symphony. Victor was next. Victor loved gambling more than business, and his debts were stacked high with dangerous people. Evelyn simply made sure those people found out that Victor had been skimming from their payments. The last she heard, he was found in an alley, unrecognizable except for the gold watch on his wrist. That left Sophia. Sophia was the clever one, the one who had always been polite to Evelyn, smiling at dinner parties and sending thoughtful gifts. But Evelyn had seen the coldness in her eyes, the way she could lie without blinking. Sophia had been the one who lured Daniel to the meeting the night he died. Evelyn had saved Sophia for last, not out of mercy, but because she wanted her to know it was coming. She wanted her to feel the slow creep of dread the way Evelyn had felt every day since that phone call. She started by dismantling Sophia's empire: anonymous tips to tax investigators, quiet messages to her business rivals, a leak of incriminating photos to a gossip site. Sophia's public image cracked like glass. The stock value of her company plummeted. And now, tonight, was the finale. She had invited her here under the guise of a desperate ally with new information. She would come. Pride and paranoia would make sure of it. Evelyn's fingers tightened around the umbrella handle. She heard footsteps outside the warehouse, the click of high heels against wet pavement. The heavy door creaked open, and Sophia stepped inside, wearing a beige trench coat and carrying a leather bag. She said, "Evelyn." Her voice was low but steady. "What is this about?" Evelyn didn't answer right away. She let the silence stretch, the sound of rain filling the gaps. She stepped forward, letting the dim light fall across her face. Evelyn said finally, "You killed him." Sophia's jaw tightened, but she didn't flinch. "You don't know what you're talking about." "I know exactly what I'm talking about. Martin's dead. Victor's gone. That just leaves you." Sophia's eyes flickered, a flash of calculation passing through them. She asked, "You think you're some kind of avenger?" "Daniel made his choices. He got in the way." Evelyn stepped closer. "And now, you're in the way." Her hand slipped inside her coat, fingers closing around the cold steel of the gun. She didn't raise it yet. She wanted to see the fear first. But Sophia surprised her. Instead of fear, she smiled. "You think killing me will bring him back? You'll just end up like us, hollow." Evelyn's hand didn't tremble. "I'm already hollow." The shot echoed in the cavernous space, a sharp crack that cut through the rain. Sophia crumpled to the floor, her eyes still open, the smile gone. Evelyn stood over her for a long moment, the weight of the past year pressing down on her shoulders. She'd imagined this moment 100 times, imagined it would feel like victory. Instead, it felt like silence. She dropped the gun beside Sophia's body and turned toward the open door. The rain welcomed her back into the night, washing the blood from her hands. Somewhere deep inside, she thought she might hear Daniel's voice again, but it was just the wind. She walked away without looking back. The city swallowed her whole.